on outcomes of CBN MPC meeting. Here's a background report put together by Musa Abubakar.
This is the second time the Apex Bank has decided to hit the pause button, at least for now. At its latest Monetary Policy Committee meeting, the Central Bank of Nigeria retained the monetary policy rate at 27.50%, a move aimed at consolidating recent gains in the fight against inflation, which has eased to 23.71% in April, its first significant drop in months.
Members also noted with satisfaction the progressive moderation in food inflation and therefore commended the government for implementing measures to increase food supply. The MPC thus encouraged security agencies to sustain the momentum while government provides necessary inputs to farmers.
While the committee acknowledged inflationary pressure driven by cost of electricity and persistent foreign exchange demand pressures, they called on the fiscal authorities to strengthen efforts at enhancing foreign exchange earnings through gas, oil, and exports. They reaffirmed the continued stability of the banking sector following notable improvements in key performance indicators and observed the progress made in the bank recapitalization exercise.
Given the relative stability observed in the foreign exchange market, members urged the bank to sustain the implementation of the ongoing reforms to further boost market confidence.
For business owners, this means borrowing costs remain high for now, but for investors, it's a signal of stability. The CBN is holding its ground, watching the ripple effects of past rate hikes and betting that discipline will pay off.
Thank you very much, Musa, for that report. Now joining us here to discuss the outcomes of the latest CBN MPC meeting is Dr. Victor Obo, is the Director, Monetary Policy Department, CBN. Dr. Obo, you are welcome to Good Morning Nigeria. This is your first time on this program?
Yes.
So it's your debut?
Yes.
So welcome.
Thank you very much. Good morning and good morning, Nigerians.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, also joining us here is Dr. Niyi Akinshiju, Financial and Investment Analyst. He's also Chairman, Independent Media and Policy Initiative. Thank you very much for joining us.
It's a privilege. Thanks for having me.
And welcome back. Our sincere condolences on the passing of your mom.
Thank you so much.
All right, let's kickstart a conversation with Dr. Obo, who is the Director, Monetary Policy for the CBN. Dr. Obo, can you just give us a better clarification of the outcome of yesterday's meeting, that is this MPC decisions? What informed the outcome?
Thank you very much, and once again, good morning, Nigerians. It's no longer news that the 300 meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee of the Central Bank of Nigeria held yesterday. And incidentally, it was a remarkable meeting. You know, achieving its 300 series is quite remarkable. And the key decisions, as you are aware, was unanimous. All the 12 members of the committee were in attendance to show commitment to pursue macroeconomic stability. And all the rates were retained. The monetary policy rate, which is the anchor rate, retained at 27.5%. The asymmetric corridor retained at plus 500 and minus 100 around the MPR. The liquidity ratio retained at 30%, while the CRR, what we call the cash reserve ratio, retained at 50% for DMBs and 16% for merchant banks. Now, the decision to retain those rates were clearly data-driven, and it's in conformity with the objective of policy making of the central bank, that decisions have to be clearly driven by evidence. You know, numbers doesn't lie. So what the committee did first and foremost was to review developments in the global and domestic economy.
Okay.
Let me start with the domestic, from home. Charity begins at home. And what the data said was a proof of relative improvements in key macroeconomic indicators. So we had, take exchange rate for instance, we have relative stability. Clearly shown, if you pick the stability of the exchange rate, it was quite salutary. Particularly the premium between the official rates, which we call the NFM, and the BDC, had narrowed significantly, which gives businesses, you know, leverage to be able to plan. That if you are planning for your business in the next 2-3 months, you know that there's stability in the exchange rate. So that has salutary effects on headline inflation.
Okay.
And that has also translated into, you know, reduction in headline inflation and food inflation. So if you go through several indices, you see those improvements. Food inflation consistently moderated from January till April. So these indicators show that it is important that we stay the course, you know, to be able to harness more, you know, impact of the policy. So committee decided that it is good to halt any hike at this point and allow the impact of previous hikes to permeate through the economy so that we can impact the economy more and bring headline inflation down. The other aspect that, drove them to take that decision again is also to look at development at the global level.
Okay.
We are all aware of the headwinds, particularly the U.S. trade war and the retaliatory tariffs from the major trading partners of the U.S. That shows some lack of clarity in future direction of policy. And across the world, most central banks are trading softly. And that's what the governor called yesterday cautious approach, to be sure that in the short to medium term, the policy direction at the global level is clearer. So what you need to do is to be careful and watch, wait and see a little bit, so that you see where the global policy direction is going. And it's part of the reason why the bank decided to hold those rates.
Okay, Dr. Obo.